This is the world's wettest arena, where everyone's competing for the biggest prize: survival. But that's not so easy when everyone's got to eat. There's no attack too weird, and no defense too deviant. In Ocean's weirdest predation games. The sun rises across Mexico's glittering Gulf of California. Its nutrient-rich waters a paradise for sardines. This school of small fish is here to feast on a nighttime cocktail of plankton. All they need to do is relax in the sun and wait for their meal. Ah, trouble in paradise. The sardines make for a tasty meal themselves, which is why they travel together in large groups. Safety in numbers. But hang on. That really doesn't look like there's safety in numbers. Well, here's how it works. When the school is loose and relaxed, it's hard for the predators. Just try and follow a single fish. It's sensory overload. But things change once predator numbers increase. And if they can split a smaller school away from the main mass, the sensory overload starts working the other way. The fish huddle together. So many dangers from all sides. The predators just take fish after fish until... Phew! Thank goodness that's over. Finally, it's the sardines' turn. Nighttime is when tiny zooplankton amass at the water's surface to feed. It's the largest synchronized movement of biomass on the planet. And that's exactly what these fish are after. But there's more trouble in paradise. Squid, Humboldt squid, ascend from the deep at night in search of food. They're decked out to kill. With tentacles that hold up to 200 hooked suckers and a beak for tearing into prey. They'd eat each other given the opportunity. The sardines don't stand a chance. Using chromatophore cells, the Humboldt squid flash to communicate. I'm going in for the kill. I'm changing direction. Get out of my way, or you'll be sorry. Told you. Strange such frenzied killers can be such high-level communicators. As dawn breaks, they head back down to the deep. The sun rises across Mexico's glittering Gulf of California. Its nutrient-rich waters are paradise for sardines. Watch out, little fishies! Some predators work hard to survive, and some survive on others' hard work. Meet the opportunists. Our featured opportunist feeds on spawning salmon. A brown bear. Your quintessential predatory scene. But weird? No. But what if, instead of a 6-pound snack, the bear was foraging for a 1-ton feast? Ah, that got your attention. And what if it wasn't from the river, but the ocean? And what if it wasn't salmon, but a whale? But how, you ask? Let's start here, in the waters around Alaska's Aleutian Islands. It's summertime, and the sun barely sets. It sets off phytoplankton blooms that feed animals. That feed bigger animals. That feed even bigger animals. Whales spend the summer gorging on the abundance, fattening up to prepare for winter. Like this grey whale and her calf. She tips the scales at 30 tons. And the calf is already in the 1-ton club. But it's a popular spot. Orca. They're known around these parts for harassing the guests. They're nicknamed Killer and run in packs. These guys are smart, and they're not here for the plankton. Now, warning, what you're about to see isn't pretty, but orca have to eat too. All the orca have to do is separate the young calf from its mother to drown it. Mum tries to defend it. But in the end, the only thing she can do is save herself. Okay, that was intense. So, here's a tiny bobtail squid covering itself in sand as a bit of a palate cleanser. After several hours of feeding, the corpse is stored on the seabed for later. See? Smart. Except for buoyancy. Sometimes carcasses float to the surface. So now, going back to where we started. Every brown bear within a 2-mile radius can smell a potential feast. And after the fight for first dibs, feast they do. There's no saving it for later for the bears. They'll gorge themselves sleepy. Then why not? They're here to make the most of the orca's hard work. All that blubber's perfect for spring fattening after hibernation. And it provides a much heartier meal in one sitting than this. Now, speaking of hearty, the Predation games are about to make room for some real heavy hitters. Nature. Soothing. Tranquil. Peaceful. We know better than that. It's an all-out arms race. And leading the charge are the prize fighters. Like the great white shark. It's known as a cold-blooded killer, but it's going through an identity crisis. Let me explain. Take a look at most fish. They're cold-blooded ectotherms. The same temperature as the water. Pretty cold. They rely on external sources to warm them up, like the sun. Being cold requires less energy than being warm, so ectotherms eat less. Meanwhile, warm-blooded endotherms generate their own body heat. But to do that, they have to eat more. So, why bother? Because being warm-blooded allows them to perform at any time and maintain peak performance for longer. So, they need fuel. Endotherm, eat more, perform longer. Ectotherm, eat less, perform less. It's a trade-off. Which brings us back to the shark. The sun may be shining, but it's down in the depths. It wants to shake its reputation as a cold-blooded killer, because it's actually a warm-blooded killer. It's part endothermic. So, what to do? Should it go slow and maintain its reputation? Or use that warm-blooded, heat-generating body to really chase those seals? Sometimes it's best to embrace all sides of yourself. It can slowly cruise the depths, ready for a high-speed ambush when the time is right. The best of both worlds. Doesn't it feel good to celebrate after a win? The name shrimp. Peacock mantis shrimp. He's a secret agent. So secret, he's not even a shrimp at all. He's a stomatopod, a distant relative of the lobster. And all good secret agents need a mission.
Secret Agent Shrimp, your mission should you choose to accept it. First, establish your personal HQ. Second, defend HQ against enemy agents. Finally, find enemy agent, the crab, and end him. Good luck, Agent Peacock, Mantis Shrimp.
Burrow time. At the base of a coral reef is prime position. Out of the way of prying eyes, but close enough to the action. Coral will make a strong structure. A U-shape means easy in, easy out. And it pays to have an exit strategy. HQ complete. But no agent is complete without gadgets. Agent Peacock Mantis Shrimp has some of the best gadgets in the animal kingdom. His eyes. He has inbuilt infrared. He can detect UV light. He sees circular, polarized light. What does that mean? Well, it's hard to know because it's impossible for us to imagine. But it makes him awesome. Rather than processing everything he sees, one theory goes he filters only what he needs and acts. Wah! His left eye did that, while his right eye spotted this shrimp. An enemy agent looking to steal his burrow. Not today. Ritualized combat decides who is the stronger. Mission 2 complete. Burrow defended. Enemy agent neutralized. Final mission. Take on the crab. If you thought his eye tech was crazy, check out this extreme gadget. Powered by stored elastic energy, he releases his raptorial appendage and... boom! 50 miles per hour. Acceleration similar to a .22 caliber bullet. Delivering 340 pounds of force. Best eyesight. Fastest punch. Good job, Agent Peacock Mantis Shrimp. Not all predators are made equal. Some are even weirder than others. We've met Ocean's weirdest prize fighters. Now let's meet the surprise fighters. Crabs. A highly successful animal. They've colonized all the world's oceans and are even found in fresh water and on land. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got a giant Pacific octopus. He has a complex and adaptable intelligence, but he's shy. He'd prefer not to have to leave his den, but he has to for food, like crabs. To find them, he'll use all 9 of his brains. Along with his central brain, he has 1 in each arm. So his arms can function under their own control, with suckers that smell and taste. The perfect predatory device. If he lost an arm, it could carry on working without him, but he still has all of his. What he doesn't have is a good set of social skills. He'd prefer to go unseen. So, he has a clever workaround. Camouflage. Even his skin is clever. It contains the same protein pigments as his eyes. In essence, it sees the change it needs to become. The perfect solution to prevent awkward encounters. The crabs, meanwhile, have no sense and get out. Problem solved. Of. What he seems perfectly capable of right now is eating more. Without a cage in the way, he goes for his usual style. He's managed to catch enough takeaway to save him from having to leave his den for a while, where he doesn't have to socialize and he doesn't have to clean up. The Coral Reef. It's a tough neighborhood. Competition breeds killers. To survive here, you need to be fierce. Especially when you're as small as a 1/4 inch long. Meet the nudibranchs. They run this place. Thousands of different varieties pretty much left to their own devices. But how do you get to be a top predator when you look like little more than a colourful, gooey blob? By being made of tough stuff. Nudibranchs are so tough they do what most can't: eat coral. Their digestive system is really clever. It helps them consume toxic oils that make them taste bad enough to be left alone. But some are even tougher than that. Corals are relatives of jellyfish. Deadly to most because of their nematocysts. What's a nematocyst, you ask? They're nasty little stingers that detonate like tiny hand grenades, blasting excruciating, paralyzing venom harpoons at anything that comes close. But the nudibranch can handle it by storing unexploded stingers right at the tip of its digestive tract in its spiky serrata. Perfectly placed to deal with any wise guy. But most know the score and keep well away. Why? The nudies broadcast their toughness. Those colors are an aposematic warning. They're saying, best case, I'll taste bad. Worst case, I'll poison you. Either way, back off. So, what's as tough as a nudibranch, you ask? Another nudibranch. And what's weirder than a nudibranch, you ask? Oh, so many things. And they only get weirder. In an arms race, it helps to have a lot. Meet the players that will leave you seeing stars. It's said that counting stars is like trying to count grains of sand. If that's the case, you're in the right place. There are around 2,000 species of star in the ocean. Sea stars, hanging out everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. And they're busy. Eating. Some are invasive eating machines. This crown of thorns sea star can cause serious destruction to coral reefs. Hold on. We all know how nature works. Something must be eating the sea stars. There's always some kind of balance at play. Right, here we go. Meet Harlequin shrimp. Gorgeous. This flamboyant little pair love the same activities and share the same tastes. They've been together for years. All 2 inches of them. Stop. Hang on. Do you expect me to believe they hunt on prey over 7 times their size? Oh look, they do too. In fact, they exclusively hunt and dine on sea stars. It's how they keep their relationship alive. Their antennules help them sense a star nearby. The hunt is on. Before the sea star knows it, it's surrounded. The harlequin shrimp's sharp-pointed claws pierce the soft tissue, and their large plate-shaped claw helps them flip their prey. Suddenly, their size doesn't seem like such an issue. And on its back, the sea star is helpless. It's got thousands of tube feet, but it ain't going nowhere. It's even retracted them, as if it knows what's about to happen. The shrimp dine out on its soft tissue, digestive gland, and gonads. Eating the sea star, alive. On some hunts, sea stars will shed a limb to try and save themselves, but the shrimp just see that as a buffet. They'll be back for the rest. It's all part of keeping sea star numbers in check. But don't be alarmed. There are still plenty of sea stars to go around. Like any bustling metropolis, different seafloor communities prefer different living arrangements. You've got your high-density living where sun-seeking coral prefer the penthouse, while sand dollars all want a piece of the soft, sandy substrate. And some live in tough neighborhoods. Like this big bully. His name, Sunflower Sea Star. But there's nothing sunny about him, or flowery for that matter. He's big. 11 pounds, 24 arms, and 15,000 suckered feet big. He wants dollars. Sand dollars, and he's coming to collect. He can move at over 3 feet per minute. On the seafloor, that's practically a sprint. The slow-moving sand dollars pay the ultimate price. He's eaten them. But there are others that have the anatomy to put up more of a fight. Like an alarm system, this cockle has tiny tentacles outside his shell that sense the sea star's approach. His best defense is to put his foot down. He can propel himself away fast enough for the sea star to have to give chase. But his one-footed jump is too slow to shake the speedy star. The sea star uses all his suckers to pry open the shell and make a meal of our cockle. But all bullies eventually meet their match. The Puget Sound king crab. There's a new boss in town. With his right claw made for cutting, the crab takes the win. And an arm. It looks bad, but you don't have this many arms without a few tricks up your sleeve. Sunflower Sea Star will regrow the severed arm. And next time, he'll keep away from the crab. But keeping away from weird is easier said than done. Especially when it's all around you. We've seen brute force at its best, but what about brains and teamwork? Let's meet the players using tactical moves. When it comes to popularity, dolphins are like the good-looking jocks of the animal kingdom. Athletic, coordinated, and part of a winning team. But to stay on top, you need to innovate. Which might explain the bottlenose dolphin's weird compulsion for developing new moves. And like any championship team, they're looking to score big. Match day, the Florida Keys. The opposition has arrived. Mullet. Conditions are looking perfect. The water's about 3 feet deep. The mud is soft. Kick off. The dolphins are using the mud to their advantage, slamming their flukes into the sediment. It's a tactical move, generating muddy walls that confuse their opponents. Surrounded by dark clouds, they leap right out of the water. But this pod isn't the only team with winning moves. And they're so niche, they're habitat specific. Chameleons. In nature, it's one of these. In language, it's a term used to describe a changeable or inconstant character. So in that sense, it could be one of these. A brown pelican. There are 8 different species of pelican all told, but the brown could be considered the most changeable. They seem happy enough with their lot, and why not? Who cares about a bit of waddling when you can spend the day preening oil into your feathers? There's the comfort of a dedicated partner. Well, for this season at least. And then there's a ready supply of food nearby. But how does this catch that? That's where the brown's chameleon-like change and inconstancy come in. Where most other pelicans fish from the water's surface, brown pelicans dive for food. They transform from clumsy landlubbers into flying aces. Their 6.5-foot wingspan lifts them on the wind. Precision eyesight means pinpoint accuracy from over 60 feet.
Target locked. Dive initiated. Retract head. Wings bent. Brace for impact.
No easy feat, but this 11-pound bird. Their bodies hide air sacs that cushion the blow of landing. So, they can scoop 2.5 gallons of water and fish into their gular pouch. All that sea salt can wreak havoc on even the most robust rig. But the brown pelican can handle it. A special gland near his eye excretes excess salt from his system. Like a finely tuned machine. Makes you look at them in a whole new way. Well, almost. Pelicans are weird, but not as weird as it gets. Get ready to meet the award winners. Some things are so weird, they defy explanation, but deserve an award. Welcome to Ocean's Weirdest Awards Night. Welcome to the 4 billionth Annual Weird Predator Awards. Coming to you live from the ocean's beautiful tropical reef. Tonight we bring you all the glamour. 4 billion years of evolution has created these streamlined physiques. Stunning outfits. Outstanding beauty. But all these star qualities are an attempt to carve out a niche in this, the most competitive environment in the ocean. And then there's the blue-streaked wrasse. Now, she may not be part of the glitterati, but she helps make them shine. She works at a cleaning station, carefully chomping off customers' dead skin and parasites. She has a great reputation and can clean up to 2,000 fish per day. There's a tacit agreement at work. You don't bite the mouth that cleans you. Like most clients, this 4-foot-long moray eel is packing a lot of parasites, making the wrasse one small but well-fed little predator. But it's a competitive market, and she's about to risk everything for a craving. She's producing eggs and wants her clients' nutrient-rich mucus, which is strictly off-limits. So she's running a scam. She needs to wait for the right target. This Sweet Lips has potential. She cleans him properly to start before nipping off mucus. That's one customer that won't be returning. But with more clients waiting, it seems she's got away with it. Still, she'll need to cheat carefully if she's to keep her reputation intact. Welcome back to the 4 billionth Annual Weird Predator Awards. The nominees for this year's Most Venomous on the Reef are the blue-ringed octopus, the banded sea crate, the lionfish, and the stonefish. And the winner is the banded sea crate. He always wins. He's 10 times more venomous than a rattlesnake. But it's not just the venom that impressed the judges. They were also impressed by the fact that he nests on land, but hunts on the reef. Adaptable. His flattened tail acts as a paddle, but it has a second purpose. It looks a bit like his head. So when he's busy searching the reef for prey, potential predators don't sneak up on him. But really, it's not the sea crate that's in danger. He is the danger. It's a moray eel he's looking for. There's one. Look how clean he is. His best option is to hide. The eel is big, but not big enough to deter the sea crate. The neurotoxins in the snake's venom paralyze the eel. The snake can take all the time he needs to swallow the eel down for slow digestion. Congratulations once again to the banded sea crate. But let's not forget the rest of the ocean's weirdos. They're winners too. After 4 billion years of evolution, to even take part in the predation games is an incredible accomplishment.